Here are the pieces required to do this change over to the new pads. As you can see, they're just interlink sensors like the old ones. You've installed the operating system by putting the 2.11 operating system on a card, going to mode, load. From the memory card, you're just going to load the file to load the new operating system, the 2.11 or the JJOS, whatever the newest one is that you need. But that's the first step. First, we're going to take the outer casing off. You're going to have to take off right here, here, here. Then you're going to take the first one out of the front panel so you can get the front panel off. Then underneath, you're actually going to have to take this one and this one here to get the front panel off. To take that off, you're going to pull the front panel forward, and now you're just going to need to take, there's a screw right here and a screw right here. Those two are going to have to come off, along with the one down here on the bottom that's also holding the casing on. You don't have to take the side panels off to get the casing off if you're just basically changing out the sensors. Here you can see my MPC has been used a lot, so they actually break off inside. If you feel one of your buttons is actually working but it's a little loose, it's probably just broken inside. We're going to proceed by taking the pad holder off, which you see screw here, screw here, screw here, and a screw here. So you're going to go ahead and take that off first. Now that when you got it off and you're pulling out the original pad tray, you can see over here there's a clip. You're going to need to take that one out and that'll release it from there. There's also one underneath that you might want to release too. Well, you need to release. So one on the bottom, you're just going to pull this down directly and it'll all come out. So then that will release the old pads. They're all dead. On this one I got to hit them so hard for them to work. It's gone. Now we're going to put the new board in. You're going to have the board face up like this, so you have the pad sensor going out this way. So whichever way, you got to hook this up, but you're just going to hook up this board. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the pad sensors in. The pad sensors are going to fit and kind of go up around like this, so we're going to make sure that this bottom side is going in right here like this. You're going to pull out on this little piece right here, this black piece, and it'll open up so you can stick the ribbon in and then secure it by pushing the black piece back in. Now that you've securely tightened it and pushed the black piece in, we're ready to go ahead and mount this onto the bottom of our tray. The tray is going to go down and fit just like this, so underneath we're going to see there's two holes on the underside, and that's where you're going to hook this. Now that we've got it the way we need to go, basically we're just going to put the screw here and here to hold this board down. Don't be scared when you first put the screw in. It might seem like it's going to go hard to put in, but it'll go in. Just make sure that you're not damaging the board or the screw hole. You're also going to want to make sure that your pad ribbon is going down here and you have tons of room so we can flip this thing back over when we need to. Everything hooked up and the pad sensors are on there. We're going to go ahead and flip this around like so. Now that we get our pad sensors on top, then we're going to take this here, we're going to plug it in over here just like so. When you're maneuvering this back in, the top lip has to go underneath there, and then these lips have to go. So you're going to want to push it over that way first, and then get it underneath and line up your holes. So now that we got our holes all back lined up again, we're going to go ahead and put this on. Last step will be adhesing the pad sensors. Now we're going to go ahead and put all our screws back in, the one here, 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 and here. Alright, now here's one of the harder parts. It's kind of similar to putting a skin on an MPC actually. You're going to line up the holes, but first you're going to take this really sticky adhesive off the back, and you're going to make sure that you get it right on the holes. That way our sensors are in the right spot. The ribbon on these are a little bit longer than they need to be, but that's sometimes how it is. That's how it is with the 2000 XLs as well, but it'll still work out perfectly. Now that we got our pad sensors on there, as you can see, the holes actually that are cut are not 100% lined up with the little holes that are drawn. That's a good old Akai for us. At least they gave us the new pad sensors. At this point now, you're just going to take your pad set. You got to make sure these holes do line up with the actual hole, because that's where the pads are actually going to go in. So when we put those pads on here, that's what's going to basically trigger your pad sensors. So now that we've got it on there perfectly, we can let the adhesive go down, rub it a little bit. I try not to rub too much around the sensors themselves. That way I don't get gum between basically the sensor and the pad, which tends to happen over time anyways. But let's get it down enough. Now we're going to go ahead and throw the pads on there. We're on our last step. make sure you push down in the middle right here. This is where the little nub is that's going to go inside to kind of keep the pad down. The casing should keep it down, you know, alright for us anyways, so we don't have to worry too much. But you're just going to want to make sure that little nub is down inside there. Now that we're on there, I'm just going to put my casing on over the top because I'm really not a professional at this. I guess it's just the fact that I have the balls to take these things apart all the time. So we're going to put the casing half on, make sure everything works, and see that we're good to go. Alright, I put the case on, I put 2 of the screws in just so it's held down. And now we're going to fire the thing up, make sure everything works perfectly. Already, I'll tell you straight up that the pads feel just as they do on any of the other MPCs. And as you can see, I'm not bullshitting. I pretty much have all the MPCs, so it really does have the feel. Alright, fired it back up. Excuse the sound set. Basically, it's just all I got on this thing because I don't think I've ever used it. It feels great. The pads, the sensitivity. It's absolutely perfect. They feel great. Everything feels absolutely perfect on it. So basically now I'm going to go up and put everything together. And that's it. That's how you install the new pad upgrade on the MPC 1000. As you can see here, this is the JJ operating system. It works. For those that were doubting it, JJ came through once again. This is actually 3.07, so this isn't even the, you know, the real one. This is just the demo. But as we can see, thank God for JJ. It works. We got the JJ 4.87. Works.